the first time I ever saw
it's not an Eat
this
Your
movie
Vegetables movie.
was at the Plaza in Petaluma.
Blood Simple?
80, I think it was probably late 84, early 85 on a double bill, this and The Hit.
The Hit. I think I saw this first on tape, on VHS tape.
Oh yeah. One thing about that is that when I watched it this time, that was Four Top song was playing over and over again, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, I watched it like, wait a minute, it's supposed to be like I'm a Believer by like
Nope.
And the thing is, I realized I'd seen this on home video more than I'd seen it in theaters, so that's what I remembered. The fact that they had to switch out the song with the Neil Diamond
couldn't get the rights.
Although
they couldn't get the rights for the home video release until the DVD came out. When the DVD came out, they had the money to get the rights.
But what's weird is that, weirdly enough, I think that I'm a Believer works a little better because it's kind of like it's an unlikely song for a Southern black guy to put on the jukebox all the time. It's like, yeah, it's Yankee Day. I'm gonna play his song, and it's like what?
I love his "I've Been to Carlsbad."
Oh yeah,
sweatshirt.
He's all over. He is all over a great character. He's
MVP of this fucking movie. Barry fucking Sonnenfeld.
Yep, he go on to do
so good.
Yeah,
I mean, holy shit!
And he even does the camera on a plank when the camera
goes over the bar.
Oh, this thing here, I love
over the boots.
He should have just stuck to being a DP because his direction.
No,
that's fine.
Men in Black is great. Fuck you.
Hey, Men in Black is fucking amazing.
I think Get Shorty is his best.
Get Shorty is his best.
The DP had a choice here in this scene. He could have either did a little tilt over the drunk guy, which was a delightful, or just plowed into
it. I saw that, I levitated.
Me too. I was like, me too. I first thought it's like, oh, this is going to be a clever film.
How the fuck did they do that? Still to this day, how the fuck did they do that?
They put the camera on a plank and they
put it on
just lifted the whole thing up and dropped it down again. Like it was on a skater.
They do it also in Raising Arizona.
Yeah, they do.
Which is the next movie after this.
Hey, how involved was Sam Raimi in this film?
I was gonna say that's a Sam Raimi move, putting your camera on a plank because he uses that.
Also, that thing in the yard with the whole thing with the music and they're like it gets him in the nuts.
That's a horror movie.
That's pure Raimi.
It is a horror movie.
Well, they were PAs on Raimi's stuff, weren't they?
I think they were. Okay,
Raimi is from the same Eastern Michigan group that the Coens are from. So like if you read Bruce Campbell's book, he talks about knowing all of them in college, and Bruce Campbell was in the fake trailer for this that they made, and he's playing Dan Hedaya crawling down the bleeding and crawling down the road in the trailer. And that's how they raised the money for this. Is they took that trailer around and were like, hey, we want to make this movie, and they got $750,000 for it. Like,
I want to.
The trailer was like killer.
Speaking of it being a horror film, and of the scene where he's crawling down the road, and then there's the shot of the shovel being dragged on the pavement. The first time I saw this movie, I was in the theater, and I enjoyed it immensely. And I mean, I laughed because it's a funny movie.
This film is a funny film.
It is a horror movie.
I had a marijuana cigarette.
The second time I saw it, I had been out drinking. I came home. Sheila put the TV on, and that scene was on, and I had a panic attack, and I had to have her turn it off.
Wow.
I freaked the fuck out when they start throwing the dirt on him, and he starts moving around.
Oh yeah, it's terrifying stuff.
I could not.
He pulls the gun and he fires 3 times, and they're all
with
empty.
his index finger broken too, which is like
with his
really
index finger broken.
Yeah, I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. So
I can see that.
Definitely where you come in emotionally on this. The other thing I wanted to say is I didn't have time to watch it this week, so I'm working on my memory of seeing it years ago right now.
Oh, me too. I didn't watch it. I've seen this movie like 12 times. I'm just
I
trying to
hadn't
remember.
seen this in a really long time, and like I said, all of you, you're like, where? This is an example where, there's all the Coen brothers shtick. It's all here. The violence that it comes from nowhere.
The comedy,
really funny.
The dumb as fuck people.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a statement
that none of them look like models. Really, it's great.
Yeah.
Are the Coen brothers underappreciated? I think the Coen brothers could take it for granted, because I went back and I looked at their entire filmography, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. Almost without, I only hate
they're not
2 of them.
taken for granted at all.
I hate The Lady Killers with a Passion.
And Intolerable
I
Cruelty.
hate
And
it's
Hudsucker.
Yeah,
Validate-
intolerable cruelty sucks.
No, I
Yeah.
like Intolerable Cruelty.
What the fuck?
The Idiot trilogy for me is like world.
What's the Western?
The True Grit
They
is
remade
great.
True Grit.
True Grit was
Actually,
great.
they did a
Really
good job
good.
with that.
Not
I thought
True Grit, there's another
Llewyn
one
Davis
with,
was
like,
dull.
I
Myself.
found
Llewyn Davis.
Yeah, it was dull. I
Yeah.
didn't like that.
Almost every single one. Like I'm like.
Also,
Coen
Burn
Brothers
After
to me
Reading
are
was
like
bad.
Star Trek movies. They
I
make a
love-
good
oh,
one
yeah,
and then make
I
a crappy
love
one.
Burn
They make a
After
good one and then they make
I don't think no, I don't think they made a crappy one until Intolerable Cruelty. Like
I
that
like that
that
one.
peak like it that goes up the entire time. And then
Well,
Intolerable Cruelty happens.
But
And
I'm
it's
not.
like, God damn it.
I'm not that amused by Hudsucker Proxy or that
I
one
know.
that
love-
you,
Oh, I
the
love that
bowling one.
Big Lebowski.
Lebowski? Are you
I
fucking
think it's-
crazy?
I like
I
love
know. I've
Lebowski.
told you this before, Chris.
I know. The weird thing about
I
Lebowski
think an
is
underrated.
I like the film, but the fact that everybody loves that film
I don't get
do not
it.
like it as
No,
much.
I think their underrated one is
That's just me.
I
Barton
don't
Fink.
care
I
about
love
your
Barton
likes.
Fink.
Barton
Fink is
Fink
good.
is
The thing is-
amazing.
Now, mind you, this is
No, that's a good movie. The
Miller's
cat is
Crossing
holding
is
up.
an amazing.
I was
film.
just
watched
watching
it.
Miller's Crossing again, and it is good, but it's
I
kind
watched
of
it on
the first
annual-
half is kind of boring.
It's a slow
Oh,
burn.
God,
It's a
no.
slow, but I
It's
think
a
Barton
slow
Fink
burn.
is
Hold on,
amazing.
okay. We're trying to talk.
We're
about
just
these-
covering the entire
I know.
Coen Brothers.
Okay, well,
career.
let me put this on track here. We saw The Killing with Kubrick, and we saw pieces of his auteur,
Tiny.
little bits and pieces. You also see in this one, there's a flaw. This film has flaws. It's a little bit. It's a little bit.
Well,
stiff.
it's rough around the edges, but I think
rough around
that's
the edges.
charming here.
But the thing is, it's the 80s, so you can actually get away with a lot more than Kubrick could have. And their pieces are in place. And so to a better level, I think, than Kubrick was with his first film.
It's more accomplished as a first film than
Yeah,
the
yeah.
film is for
Yes.
Kubrick.
Yeah.
for
This is the fourth time I've watched this movie, and every time I watch it, I like it less.
Interesting.
Like this is probably the last time I'm gonna watch it, honestly.
What's not working for you? That
Yeah, I think I
getting
like it
worse?
more almost every time I see
Same
it.
here.
Dad, weren't you gonna pick this?
Yeah, I was. That's what I'm saying. Like I've had this very weird reaction in rewatching it this time of being like, I loved this movie so much the first time that I watched it, and as I've watched it a couple of times since, the flaws get more and more egregious. Like, I don't think the Maurice character is actually that good. Like, I don't think that Ray's character is good at all. Like, I
Ray would be the weak link, but
It's
Maurice, you mean Dan Hedaya? He's amazing.
no, that's Marty.
Oh, that's
Marty.
Julian.
And I think that Marty, I think that Dan Hedaya doesn't have the level of menace in this movie that he should have. Like,
I know he looks like a space alien.
I don't think he's supposed to be. I don't think he's supposed to be menacing. I think that's
How
part of
did
the
this
fun.
The scene where he grabs her and is trying to strangle her, and she's trying to get the gun and all that stuff. Like, he's supposed to be menacing, and I just don't feel it.
He looks like a black Lectroid in this film. I
He
mean,
looks
it's like
Colin Farrell's dad.
He does look like Colin Farrell's dad.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think the point you're trying to get at, and this is, I'm just telling me if I'm right or wrong, is that John Getz, who plays, what's his name?
Ray.
Right.
He doesn't quite.
He's the weak link.
He doesn't
work.
really engage it, because the one thing about this thing, he comes in and sees his boss dead, and then you can't make the connection easily to him. Like, I gotta get rid of this body. Obviously, my girlfriend killed this guy.
Right.
The thing is, he just kind of blankly does it, takes it, thrown the thing, and just like.
And as soon as he's out of the picture, as soon as he's dead, and you have the scene between the two of them in the apartment, it's so good again.
It is.
Like, it's like Frances McDormand is so fucking good.
Well, the writing is good there. They've set up a wonderful situation for you.
Right.
Between these two lovers.
Him punching through the wall to get the fucking knife out of his hand.
My favorite, Elaine's favorite scene, the knife in the hand. She still loves that's her favorite scene.
Yeah.
No,
Again, it's what I have behind me.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
here. Like, this is the most
Yeah.
iconic scene
Chris,
in the
too.
movie. Is that, and Emmett Walsh is fucking amazing.
Oh yeah,
Like,
he's so good.
I love. There's a story that I read about this where they wanted him to pick up his hat and put it back.
I read this.
And Emmett Walsh was like, my characters would never do that. Like, why would you ask me to do that. And they keep trying to convince him. And eventually Ethan Coen is like, can you just do this as a favor for me? And Emmett Walsh goes, I'm doing this fucking movie as a favor for you. And it's like,
that was yes. Okay, this scene right here.
That scene's great.
Sun rising over a Texas farm, all plowed up, and you can see the trail of the tire tracks right in the middle.
Yep.
He gets in, and it's like everybody in the theater died when that happened. It was like, oh my, because you don't know, that's what's Coen brothers, they do so well. You wouldn't think about it, they just take you right over the edge.
There are great moments in this movie.
That was
I will absolutely not take anything away from the fact that there are great moments.
I like this movie less than the last time I saw it. It's rough.
Yeah.
But there are more obvious Coenisms that we have all grown to love and appreciate in this than in the Kubrick movie, even as rough as this movie is. By the time they got to Raising Arizona, it's like, okay, now you guys are just doing Looney Tunes and I am buying what you were selling.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and then they get to Miller's Crossing, which is based on the novel that they couldn't get the rights to make this.
Right.
Like, and then it's
and
just
fully
like,
commit to period like no one else has ever done. And it's like it's the thing. The film looks and feels like nothing else that came out. Yeah, that's amazing stuff.
But I think Sonnenfeld's cinematography was like.
How many films you do with the Coens?
I think you did like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
no,
3 or 4,
I mean, this one, Miller's Crossing, and I don't know. By the time I think they got to Barton Fink, but I just have to look that up if you did that one.
Yeah.
Like
they've been real lucky.
That has crazy good cinematography. The wallpaper, like always peeling, and they're like going up the side of the.
Oh, and John Goodman's character
is
so good in that.
Yeah. Well, as soon as they met John Goodman and started casting him and shit, it was like, oh yeah.
Now things are taking off. Exactly.
Yeah.
Doing the voiceover in Hudsucker really helped quite a bit too.
the man. Yeah, I just don't want to keep talking about other.
I know we're doing
other Coen brothers,
but that's what Coen brothers do to you, man. It's like everyone just kind of expands in all directions.
Right, we should pick more Coen brothers.
I just like when you look at the entire filmography. For me, anyway, I'm like, sometimes these guys could take it for granted just how solid they've been for as long as they've been. Now, I don't know. We watched Joel Coen's Shakespeare thing, I think, for the show a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
I just watched Ethan Coen's Weirdo, the two girls, like the
that heist thing, the road
driveway dolls.
Driveway dolls.
No,
we're talking. You know how many clips I had to pull for this episode at this point?
They need to get back together. They need to get back together.
I mean, so the last, like it's, what was it? The thing with Clooney where they're like the actors in Hollywood in the 40s, right?
I didn't like
Hail Caesar. Hail Caesar. Yeah.
Oh,
I enjoyed it enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was still entertaining, but
I found Brother Where Art Thou to be kind of okay too.
I love
that.
I
like that one.
Movie that's my all-time
favorite. All the Clooney ones, for me, like what do you call it? The Idiot trilogy. Oh, Brother. I love Burn After Reading, and I like Intolerable Cruelty. What is it called? The Idiot trilogy. Yeah. I think those movies are great.
Well, I saw Burn After Reading in the theater with
that the best.
And I think I might have shit on that movie more than any other movie.
I just tried to watch it again and turned it off.
My favorite of the three.
When we finished watching Blood Simple with
Clooney is really detestable.
They're showing Oh Brother on Hulu. Unfortunately, it's 16:9, which sucks. But that's Roger Deakins.
Yeah,
it's like one of those things you just
killer color grade.
It has one of the best songs ever recorded for a movie in it.
Yeah,
it does.
The whole soundtrack is incredible.
Big Rock Candy Mountain's great.
Yeah, Big Rock Candy Mountain's awesome.
Man of Conscious Sorrow is.
I saw this in LA.
I know you're talking about, but Big Rock Candy Mountain is also great. Like there's two amazing songs.
The whole thing is pretty.
I saw it, but in LA,
the part where they show up at the radio station and is like, and the guy's blind.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, how many of you are here? And they just start yelling other names.
All right. Well, we're way out.
Can I just say that Fargo is their masterpiece? Because that's my favorite Coen Brothers movie.
I second that.
It's actually everything kind of pieced together in that film.
No, man.
I think
Somebody
it's funny, it's
redid
grim,
It's their
it's
best film.
heartless,
It's one of the best
beautiful.
films maybe ever made.
Lebowski for me and Fargo are like.
I think that was
somebody
Sonnenfeld, wasn't it? He did Fargo.
We'd have to look. I don't think so.
Sonnenfeld, like I just checked.
He was gone at that point.
Okay.
I think he was gone.
Shit.
Okay, I'll look
Yeah.
it up.
But Fargo is the masterpiece for
Yeah, it is.
sure.
Somebody redid the Jerry Maguire song that had all the clips from Jerry Maguire in it, but with
Clips from Fargo.
clips from Fargo, and instead of the marriage
Deacons
scene,
shot Fargo.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Deacons. There it is.
Instead of the marriage scene in the middle,
Mhm.
it's just the sound of him running the dude through the fucking wood chipper. Like, and that's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. I was just like, yeah, all right, you nailed it.
Like I said, you know, it's really great. We're 2 weeks ahead of editing because this is going to take a long time to put together.
Oh well, just turned into a Coen Brothers.
Well, you know, a love fest. There's nothing wrong with a love fest. We don't do enough of them in some ways.
For sure.
But all
Yeah,
right.
well, come on, Thumb.
All right.
Too big, too big. I
like-
love this movie.
I'm like 3/4.
I saw it. I haven't seen it in years. I think I just got a lot more appreciation for it. So it was good stuff.
It made me laugh. It literally made me cry and freak out.
Behind Chris, that opening speech, it's just gotten better.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That part is great.
Yeah.
Like, and especially after hearing the bad fucking narration in the last one. Like the narration at the beginning of this is really good.
Also,
Emmett Walsh, my guy.
Frances McDormand. Wow.
Also, his character.
Yes. Yeah,
One thing that's odd about that film is Emmett Walsh's character has this weird obsession with communist Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.